I am the Director of Early Childhood and Children's Ministry at Lord of Life Lutheran in Chesterfield, Missouri. I am going to do some weekly Bible stories for children. The kids in our preschool know me as Miss Sarah. The people at our church know me as Deaconess or Deaconess Sarah. And I'm going to take the gospel lessons from each week up until Pentecost at least. And we're going to do a little bit of digging into what they say and what they are teaching, but for kiddos. So let's get started. I want to tell you about a man in the Bible named Stephen. He was a young man and he came to know and believe in Jesus. And Jesus gave him great faith. He was preaching the good news, he was telling the truth, he was pointing people to God, and that caused some Pharisees, some enemies of the church, to not like Stephen, to want him gone, to stop his message. So they took him and they sentenced him to death, and not just any ordinary death. They sentenced him to be stoned. This means that people gathered and took big rocks, actual rocks, and would throw them at Stephen and continue to throw them until he died. Now, if I had been in that situation, I don't know what I would have done. I could have cried to stop. I could have said something like, I take it back, stop throwing stones, I won't talk about Jesus anymore, because I am sinful and might want the pain to end. But God gave Stephen great faith, and he would not take back what he had taught. And up until the end of his life, even when they were throwing stones at him, this is what he said. I'm going to read it from the Bible. You can see. He said, "Lord Jesus, receive my spirit." And falling to his knees, he cried out with a loud voice, "Lord, do not hold this sin against them." And when he had said this, he fell asleep. What a beautiful message to think about. Death, while tragic and awful, does not have to be the end for Christians. And it's an opportunity for us to think about what comes next. In Christianity, with Jesus, we go to heaven. We rejoice in being able to live with God forever. So, who did we talk about? Stephen. He was a believer, a disciple, but people didn't like his message. Sometimes when we talk about Jesus, it's not well received. However, God gave him faith, God gave him strength, and he continued to teach about Jesus. And up until the end, still had love and forgiveness in his heart and for the people around him. Okay, this is our first lesson about Stephen, and I'll see you again next time for continuing to learn Bible stories or Bible accounts, little bits at a time, appropriate for kiddos of all ages. Thanks.